Well, are you ready for Christmas? Because it's coming, whether you're ready or not. But last night was Halloween. It was wonderful. But onwards and upwards, it's time. Christmas and Thanksgiving, which, by the way, for some of us, Thanksgiving is kind of part of the whole Christmas thing. It's the kickoff. Because a lot of people get so upset. Oh, you're skipping over Thanksgiving. I'm not skipping nothing. I don't skip any holidays. It's just how I celebrate it. With Thanksgiving, it's not really about the decor. There really isn't any Thanksgiving decor. I mean, fall leaves, the cornucopia, come on. It's not really a big deal. It's about the meal and giving thanks and all that stuff. My glasses are crooked. As well, one ear's down lower than the other. I'm deformed. But anyway, so yeah, that part doesn't matter. If you have your Christmas tree up while you're celebrating Thanksgiving, it doesn't detract from that. It doesn't take anything away from it. But everybody has their own beliefs or whatever. But to me, Thanksgiving is very important. We give thanks and we talk about what we're going to be doing for Christmas. We draw names if we're going to be doing that, especially with the grandkids because they always draw names. So that's how we end up, celebrating Thanksgiving. And I like to celebrate all the holidays. You guys know that. I love all the holidays. And I think a lot of people think it's all over commercialized, and it is, and it can be ridiculous, but I don't have to spend any more money. I'm at that point in my life that I have all the decor and stuff. So the holidays for me aren't necessarily about spending money, except for Christmas, and we'll talk about that. But it's that attitude. You get that festive attitude around the holidays, and don't we need that right now with everything that's going on? It's nice to have something happy to look forward to. And maybe, the holidays weren't happy for everybody, but for me, they evoke, memories from my childhood, and they were a very wonderful time. I have warm, fuzzy memories, and so I like to recreate that. And it doesn't mean I'm ignoring what's going on around me in the world, but it keeps me from losing it. You know what I mean? If all I did was focus on that, that'd be pretty miserable. So it's nice to focus on something that brings out the warm fuzzies. I focus on all the good things of it. Like I said, I know it can be over commercialized and it costs money, but it doesn't have to be that way. For Thanksgiving, it doesn't even have to be about a turkey and all the fixings. Just getting together with your family, just breaking bread, whatever the meal is, whatever you choose to serve. It's just spending that time together. And the holidays mean more time together with family and friends. And that's the part I look forward to. And then the activities are just a bonus. Like we do special things together during the holidays that we wouldn't normally do. Like more baking. I don't bake during the year, once in a great while, but during the holidays, yeah, we like to do some baking. Although I have to find alternatives because I don't, eat like that anymore. But I have found some, ketovore alternatives or whatever. And playing games and watching the movies and listening to Christmas carols and just appreciating all the holiday decor. People put out lights and stuff like that. And it's just a nice time. So, I'm not going to apologize for really, looking forward to the holidays and wanting to celebrate early. I think that's the biggest complaint nowadays because people are celebrating earlier and earlier because we're looking for something happy, so why I don't understand why it bothers some people so much. I want to make it last as long as possible, and if I want to start celebrating right after Halloween, so be it. I try to contain it inside because I don't want to look like a crazy lady to my neighbors, but I've noticed more and more people are decorating earlier and earlier, and I say go for it. I love it. I love Christmas lights, especially, it gets dark out earlier, so I really appreciate all the festive lights and stuff. And we were talking about that last night. We had our gathering in the driveway. My kids came and friends, and we had our fire pit. And we were just talking about, how people decorate now more with lighting. And they had those, I forget, my kids know what they're called. and they were talking about, how they have the lighting that I think goes under the eaves, and it changes colors. You can change it for the different holidays, and I've seen more and more people doing that. It just looks so pretty. And I really want to do that, but it's pricey, especially if you have a 2-story house, because you want to put it on both levels. It doesn't look right otherwise. And I think my son said it was $150 for 150 feet. And he was saying that he needed like 3 strands to do his. So yeah, that's kind of a lot, but it lasts for years. I have lights that I bought. Yeah, I've had them for 4 or 5 years now. They're solar lights, and I have them strung up around my fence, all around my fence and stuff. And I think they were only like, I want to say $30 for 20 feet, something like that. I know they're more now. Things have gone up. Everything's gone up. But anyway, back to celebrating the holidays. I really look forward to it, because that's my love language, creating a cozy atmosphere. And I enjoy it just as much as everybody else. I like coming home and the house just looks warm and cozy, and ambient lighting and candles and the smells. Even if you don't cook or bake, you can buy, smelly stuff to spray the house, or candles, pumpkin scented candles and all that. It just feels good, doesn't it? It evokes all these memories, and the sights and the smells. And I don't know. I'm a sucker for a holiday. I love them all. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. And this year, like I said in a previous video, we're scaling back. We won't be spending as much. I think we're going to do this slowly. We can't just go from this to this. We have a big family, and we've always done, a certain amount for each family. But we know that there's going to come a time when we can't do as much, because eventually, when my husband and I retire and we're living on a fixed income, we're going to have to be careful. Right now, we can afford to do it. And but we don't go crazy, so it's not like we spend thousands and thousands of dollars. But we do like to exchange gifts. It brings us joy, and we are gonna scale back. So I'm trying to figure out things to do for the kids. It's easier to scale back for the adults. A lot of families, the adults don't buy for each other, or they just draw names, which I like that. That works. We draw names with the grandkids. Instead of all the grandkids exchanging gifts, they each draw a name. They do a Secret Santa thing, and they love doing that. That's fun. And I think we might adopt that for the adults as well. I think that might be something we should think about. But right now, I do enjoy being able to buy for the kids, but I'm trying to figure out things to do that are more affordable. One year, we made gifts, and that was the whole idea. Everybody made gifts, but not just, we made really nice gifts. Everybody is either an artist or a craftsman. Everybody could do something. Like my brother, he had a shutter shop. He made shutters, so he had access to saws and wood, and he made these dynamite little reindeers for everybody. They were really nice. I mean, if you were to buy them at the store, they would have cost a fortune. But he just used extra wood, so it didn't cost him anything. It was just his time and labor. So, and I still have them, and this was from 25, 30 years ago. He made these reindeer for everybody, and that was a really nice gift. And then my other brother, he does watercolors, and he made these beautiful paintings for everybody, and everybody still has those. I made like soaps and oils, and I even made homemade ornaments that were really cool. Just the old salt dough ornaments. And I just cut them out, and I put a nice gloss on them and glitter, and I still have them, So there's things you can make that are not only, nice, like something you'd buy in a store, but they were keepsakes. And the biggest, or one of the most wanted gifts that we had that year, because we did the kind of like, I forget what that game is, where you can either open a present under the tree, or you can, grab somebody else's present that they already opened. I forget what that's called. But anyway, they did it in the office. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I made a family cookbook. I just used a 3-ring binder, and I printed out recipes that were in our family for years. And I even printed out some that were in my mom's original handwriting, because she used to write out all, she didn't have the computer way back then. So she wrote them all out on index cards. So I took pictures and I included that. And then the person that got it, the whole idea was for them to add to it some of their favorite recipes and then pass it on, the next holiday. So it would circulate through the family, and we'd each continue doing that. But I kept the original. I still have it myself because I want to make sure. And now I'm going to make copies for my daughter-in-laws and my daughter, so they'll have that. But that was a wonderful gift. And I wish somebody had thought to do that when I was younger. I would have loved to had, my mother-in-law's recipes and my mom's and all that. So that was a good thing to give away. My husband wrote like a book this last year, his memoir of all these memories from when the kids were little. And there's all kinds of family members are in the book, and everybody likes to read about themselves. So he's giving a copy of that to everybody. And just, there's things you can make, like if you're quilting or you crochet or, you work with metal or wood or, I'm sure there's things that you could make. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be, working on any kind of craft or art can be expensive. But if you have scraps or things you can work with, I made oils and soaps, and that can be pricey, but I don't think I'm doing that this year. I did that one year. I made gift baskets, and that was with the salt dough ornaments. And then I included, some homemade oils and some soaps. And I know there was some other things that I put in there. I can't remember. Oh, I made the bath bombs. Those were really popular at the time. And then we made hot cocoa bombs, and some people make cookies and candies, which that's always appreciated because not everybody can do that. So there's things you can make. You don't have to spend a lot of money, although just, making things, like I said, it can cost. So you have to be careful with that. But yeah, Christmas to me is, it's not just about the gifts, but they are part of it. I'm not kidding myself, because people act like, oh, they're not, it's not about that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, I'm not knocking it. But for me, that's a part of the joy of Christmas. I enjoy being able to do that. And while I can, I'm going to continue doing that. But if we couldn't, I wouldn't stop celebrating just because I didn't have the money to do that stuff. And that might happen someday. And I'm prepared for that. But right now, I'm in a position where I can still do that. And it doesn't cost me, like I said, thousands of dollars. And, we all spend money on different things, so you can, maybe look down on one person for spending money on Christmas while this person, I don't know, smokes cigarettes or cigars, or, you spend money and you drink alcohol all year, or, you know what I mean? Or you eat more expensive foods, or you go on vacations. Everybody spends money in different ways. So just because you don't spend a lot of money on this doesn't mean somebody else can't. We cut back in other areas, is what I'm trying to say. Am I making any sense? Probably not. I'm tired. I did stay up late last night. Like I said, we had a great time, family and friends, and I think our last guest left around midnight, which was wonderful, because we probably could have stayed up and talked even more, but we were getting tired, so we cut it short. But it was fun, and the kids had a great time, and I'll include some footage just so you can kind of have an idea of what it looks like in our neighborhood. We did get quite a bit. Oh man, I gotta figure out how I can cut this back. Nobody's gonna watch this 14 minutes. Oh well. My husband's making what is it, bria? It's the roast with all the sauce, and then you make tacos out of it. What is it, birria? Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, it smells amazing, and I'm so hungry, and I am tired, and I was going to go out and do Uber tonight, but honestly, I am so tired because, yesterday and cleaning up and all that stuff. I think I'm going to stay home. My granddaughter told me about a good movie to watch with Matthew McConaughey about the fires they had up in Paradise. The Last Bus, I think she said it was. It's on Apple TV. Well, we're going to watch that, and some delicious tacos. I'm not going to go out. forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas. And if you have any, ideas for gift giving that is affordable, things that you think that would be helpful for other people, I always appreciate hearing from you guys. So thanks for watching, and I will see